Hi again, dear participants. I'm very glad that you are really interested in the Turkiye Burslari scholarship. And I will firstly go through agenda. So can you go to the next slide?
Sure.
So today we will go through the Turkiye Burslari scholarship, the joint program, which is kind of done by Islamic Bank, and application process, about the requirements, and kind of some tips by the scholarship holder about the motivational letters, interviews, and how to prepare for your upcoming academic years. And the last, we will talk about the Q&A, and you will have an opportunity to ask your questions, and we will be glad to answer them. So now I would like to invite the Vazira Ikhtiyorova, who is the scholarship holder. Please, Vazira, go.
Yep, thank you so much. First and foremost, I would like to really honestly thank for inviting me to be a speaker. And today I'll definitely do my best to share with you as much as I can. And also regarding me and myself, let me introduce. I am Islamic Development Bank Türkiye Burslari a scholarship holder. And also I've done throughout my scholarship program. I participated in many international events. And also I was an intern at Coca-Cola at digital department, and I was also official delegate at United Nations conferences held in Italy, in Egypt, and so other countries. Okay. So first and foremost, I have a question for you. Can you please tell me, like here, like bachelor's students are like the ones who would like to apply for master's? You can just message here on Zoom so that we will know on what to focus more, okay? And I study at Marmara University. My major is computer engineering. So basically here I will be telling regarding Türkiye Burslari. So like I would like to know that Türkiye Burslari and Islamic Development Bank Scholarship are like almost two similar programs, but at the same time they have differences. And Türkiye Burslari is a program that is sponsored by Turkish government, while Islamic Development Bank is sponsored by Islamic Development Bank. Türkiye Burslari is sponsored by Islamic Development Bank itself. So basically, scholarship holders will get their scholarship amount either by the government or either by bank itself. So Türkiye Burslari now has changed. Before we were receiving 1,500 actually students. So my scholarship is a bit different. And they provide monthly stipend. It's usually basically like for own your needs, for food, maybe transportation. Yeah, the second one is accommodation for students. So which like one of the good sides of this government program is they provide, like government provides you dormitories. Honestly, finding here accommodation is a bit complicated. So one of the advantages of this program is accommodation. So you will not have to pay. The third one is insurance, so health services. You are eligible to go to any government hospitals here in Turkey and get your maybe a test done or maybe any sort of consultations to doctors. The third one is university and program placements. So basically, you will be able to study at government universities. And note one thing here, in Turkey, government universities are the most prestigious universities. So if, let's say, I am a dentist, let's say like I graduated to university from government university and private university. And if I'm a person who would like to hire you as an employee, I would like, if you like almost all your scores are the same, your GPA is the same, I will hire a person who has graduated a government university, because entering government university is super difficult. The fifth one is allows you to learn the language. So if you don't know Turkish, you'll have to learn Turkish 1 year. So you will not be able to take any other classes, which is good and bad, because like 1 year you'll have to spend like let's say just like to travel, like you'll have so much time, but if you are a person who like considers your like, let's say, year of study here in another country, it may not be that much good option for you because bachelor's program itself is 4 years and plus 1 year like preparatory is going to be 5 years. 6 is covers tuition fees. For instance, you can take any classes, any minors, majors, and at the same time, you can take summer classes as well, because summer classes are usually not paid by most of the like government scholarship programs. The 7th is once-off flight ticket. So they will provide you your flight once you start your education here in Turkey and once you graduate. It means so you'll be able to be provided 2 flights, okay? And yep. And what is IsDB Türkiye Burslari? Right now, you have a very good opportunity while you're applying for Türkiye Burslari. You can just ticket. Always remember to note to ticket because you will be able to apply for 2 programs, which is good. Like you will not have to apply for separate programs. All right. And Islamic Development Bank provides students who are like, let's say, they basically one of their requirements is like being a Muslim. It's like something that is written there, but the other exception is almost the same. I mean, like you'll just tick it. And yeah, they provide almost everything the same. Here's the one thing. Islamic Development Bank does not provide you any accommodation. Well, this is something that we faced a little bit difficulties in the beginning. Because whenever you come here, especially firstly, because we are the ones who are receiving the scholarship as the first, like, let's say, generation. And we didn't know that we had to like find accommodation for us. We just came here and we're like looking in the, we're saying, okay, where's our dormitory or like the place we're going to live? And they're like, no, you will be just provided with the amount of stipend and you will have to find it by yourself. And we were so much surprised that my parents didn't know that. And they were like, do you know where you're going to, to leave? And I had to fly to Italy after 1 week here in Istanbul. So I had to stay in Istanbul for 1 week at the hotel. And then 1 week I was in Italy. And during my trip to Italy, I was looking for online, like so many homes, like to stay so that I know I'm not going to be, homeless. Honestly, that was something that we didn't expect. But I'm telling you, whenever you come, prior your trip, like flight here, definitely find a place. So Islamic Development Bank is good because you will be able to live in a flat. But Türkiye Burslari, you will be staying only at the dormitory. So you'll have to, clarify it by yourself which one is good option. For instance, I'm a person who would definitely like my own personal space, and that's why living in a flat is good. At the moment, the economy of the country is a bit difficult, so maybe sometimes the amount that you will receive for your accommodation may not be enough. So be prepared for that, or either you will have to find, let's say, one flat and rent with your friends. That's actually how we do it, 3 girls in 1 flat. And you will have to be so much close, to live in one place. So yeah, and the application deadline for this is starting from 10th of January till 20th February. So yeah, here are the 5 steps. Also, did they message regarding the program? Because I cannot see here the messages. That would be great if you could tell me. Yeah, can you read the messages? Because here I only see my screen and I'm not able to read.
No, we haven't received any questions yet.
Regarding my question, like bachelor's or master's?
No replies, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So personal account, you'll have to on TBBS, that's the platform, Türkiye Burslari, you'll have to create an account. It's actually pretty simple. And then the second one is uploading your documents. So they actually ask you to prove your extracurriculars or either, let's say, some sort of your certificates. The people who are, let's say, very socially active, here is the chance for them to show their skills and abilities. The third one is listing your dream university program references. So you will have 12 options to choose the university. And they ask you to choose, for instance, not only Istanbul, maybe Ankara. So I think like it was 3 to 4 for each city. And always know that the one that you put as a priority, you are going to be provided. It means that, for instance, if you're going to write, let's say, Gaziantep, let's say, university as a prior, like #1 university, and they see that you want to enter this university, you will be granted. Like, that's obviously and logically. Be always careful. For instance, I believe I selected, I think, Boğaziçi. And what else? The university, İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi, and what was that? Marmara University. So honestly, I wanted more İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi, but yeah, that was my chance to study at Marmara. So it's always according to your priority list, okay? And the fourth one is essay. Your essay should be unique, should describe yourself. We will also talk regarding essay and motivation letter way more in details. The fifth one is review. Always check what you have submitted. Always be honest when whatever you upload. Even if you say, oh, like this is something like 0.5 or like maybe your GPA, right? They will ask you to prove it. Yeah, let's go to the next step. Requirement documents. This is a valid identity, it's a passport, so our Uzbek citizens are encouraged to upload their travel, the red one, the red passport, but if not, then you can just submit the one that you have. It's just because it's much easier for them to schedule your flight and etc. Diploma or temporary graduation certificate. Once you are, let's say, once you became a scholarship holder, they will ask you to translate it into Turkish or into English. So yeah, but now you can upload your documents into the in language that you have. So they asked you English language test, but it's not required, but it depends. Let's say if you're selecting English, then you will have to, of course, obviously submit TOEFL or IELTS, doesn't matter. But I will tell you one thing, in Turkey, they don't really encourage international applicants to submit IELTS. Why? They do not believe that IELTS is some sort of, let's say, verified, let's say, a language proficiency test. So they only, most of the, even if you apply by yourself, you will have to submit TOEFL. So it doesn't matter if it's only government university. Yeah, and also whenever, if you know Turkish, definitely add this that you know Turkish. Now, for instance, before coming here, I knew Turkish, and I had studied 1 year at Webster University, so I didn't want to, spend 2 more years. And I just came here. I took a test, Turkish proficiency, and you have to prove that you know Turkish and C1 level. And I just took the test and got the C1 and didn't study TÖMER. It's like language preparatory year. And your photographs, that should be clear, you know this, your transcripts, so they need to prove 75% of your academic score, meaning that not maybe, like, for instance, not all of your grades are 5, and it's still fine. Proposal for a research topic and written, that's only for masters. Also, they ask some sort of questions related to their scientific research and scientific paper. Yeah, not only for PhD. National exam results, for instance, I don't know if you have, let's say at international BA, right, schools, maybe if you have them, then you will have to submit, but if not, Also, for instance, as I told, Boğaziçi requires SAT or like GMAT, so it depends on the university. So you'll have to check by yourself which one they require. For instance, I think I didn't know that, and I didn't really submit anything related. So I was on the way to be accepted for Boğaziçi, but because of lack of, let's say, information, I was not granted. So that's what they emailed me, okay? And yeah, let's talk about tips for motivation letter. I know that writing motivation letter is such a struggle for many students. Most of the times they don't know what to write. They still think if it's like some sort of the most important part of the application process. It is not. Why I'm saying this is because motivation letter, this is something that they learn how you are. Just imagine, let's say I don't know Sardar, and I'll have to, I don't know, understand like his personality, right? And I have no clue how he is, and I'll just need to read and understand. Oh, okay, Sardar has achieved this, and some other things. Motivation letter, Türkiye Burslari for bachelor's program students, they do not really require or demand high level of motivation letter, because after coming here, there are many Türkiye Burslari scholarship holders, and we actually, some sort of ask what you wrote there. And having read my essay, I was like, wow, it seems like I could write something way like more basic, right? But now Türkiye Burslari became very competitive. It doesn't mean that you don't have to concentrate on your motivation letter. What I suggest for motivation letter is to have 4 paragraphs. It should be very short. It shouldn't be more than one A4 list. You know that there are so many thousand, even 100,000 applications, and imagine reading them all. Now, this is something that they will not be able to handle throughout the whole application process. So the first one is your introduction. For instance, you indicate everything on the application form, right? Your name, like your GPA, everything. Please do not include this information in your motivation letter. This is something that they will not have to, know this. Describe more about your like soft skills, or maybe some sort of your passion. Why you would like to be selected for Türkiye Burslari? Is there any specific? For instance, let's imagine you're applying for tourism, like or maybe hotel management. You know that in Antalya or some other basically whole Turkey is touristic country, right? And this is something that you have to link. Why specifically Turkey? Why you didn't select, let's say, I don't know, United States of America, right? For instance, one of my, let's say, reasons also choosing Turkey was not because only computer engineering is developed in Turkey, but I would say I have watched, I don't know if here some like have watched Turkish TV, Paytah Abdülhamid. After that, my interest like to learn Turkish was like at the highest level, and my history level. Even during my interview, we were talking about this. So whenever you write something, please know that you have to write by yourself, because during the interview they will be like looking at your motivation letter and ask you one by one. So you'll have to prove it, and you will not have time. Like, let's say, can you please just give me a few minutes? No, you have to just answer directly. Why? Because you wrote by yourself. Okay. So the first one is introduction. Let's say maybe how you found a program, but it shouldn't be long. Try not to complex your introduction. This should be something catchy, so that like your hook should be like, whenever you just read, I need to remember. Like whenever you apply even for US universities, I have a very, like, let's say, large experience writing motivation letters. And imagine everyone has I don't know 1000 or like 1500 SAT, all right, and another also has 5 out of 5 GPA, and they are reading your also essays, all right, and your like GPA notes are not something that they will remember your application. If you are going to include your extracurriculars or maybe your something interesting, hope they will just remember you. Imagine everyone is doing robotics, imagine everyone is doing, but some of them are doing like dancing. It's something that, let's say, they enjoy, and this is unique dance, right? And they will remember this. Try to include interesting facts regarding yourself. The second one is going to be your previous academic background. Maybe what you have done at school, something that you didn't include, like maybe not as a certificate, maybe your research paper, maybe how you helped for school. All right. And the third one was like what you're going to get in this program. Like after having studied in Turkey, what are your plans? What is your motivation? How will you help Türkiye Burslari? I always suggest everyone who applies for a program, always state that whenever you participate or like you are a scholarship holder, what you do, always tell that you will have back home program, which means that once you participate in the program, you will try to share. For instance, when I participated by U.S. Embassy program in the United States of America, they require that back home program. Why? They invest you so much time and money. And once you come back, you will have to give it what you have learned, right? Sharing is caring. That's why it's very important. And the last paragraph is regarding, let's say, your final word, what you are going to do with a scholarship program, and what happens if you're not selected. Do you have a strategy, like, to study at the university, link with your academic major background? Yeah, so that's pretty much about it for motivation letter. We'll have, if you have any other questions related to motivation letter, we'll discuss it later. Okay. Am I not so fast? Like, just tell me if I'm too much fast. Okay.
That's all good.
Yep. So tips for interview. The interview process should be something for you that that just don't be scared. All right. You just need to be, don't feel nervous. I know everyone is nervous, even me, who has all the time interviews, all the time rolling admissions. Yes, I'm also nervous, and it happens to everyone, but just know that they are going to learn more about you, and the way you show yourself, your self-confidence, right? Your passion, your leadership skills. This is something that they look for each candidate. For instance, we were discussing regarding my Turkish during the interview. We were discussing regarding Turkish disease, like Turkish soap operas, right? And we were discussing who was my main character. That's how it was. It was so light conversation, but at the same time, something that I always remember. Actually, I was also asked regarding university, why specifically I chose on my priority list specific university. They asked me, like, do you know any information about this university? Always research. That's why before the interview. And he also had a paper, motivation letter, and he was just like, checking up. Okay, you stated this. What sort of they were asking what sort of what was that? Business programs do you have? Some sort of this program, they asked us. So yeah, regarding my fintech interest, my hobbies. So they just underlined, highlighted, and asked everything. So make sure that you are precise to whatever they ask, and always be honest, like never lie them. For instance, if you're not able to do a coding, just tell them, like honestly tell this, because you are not the perfect, no one is perfect. Whenever I see applicants, not only applicants, but the people who want scholarship, some of them, they even don't know English. I was so much surprised, because I was thinking that, like, this is the government scholarship program, they must know English, they must know 4 or 5 languages. No, they were just like themselves. They didn't pretend to be anyone, right? So, and also just be confident. Otherwise, they will think maybe why like is she so much, worried about something, maybe something that she lied during application process. So no need to do that. So yeah, and preparation for academic year. Congratulations if you're going to through the whole process, and only now you'll have to get prepared for academic year. This is all regarding your mental health. Please consider and take note that your mental health is super important. Never and let the other some sort of factors to push and pressure on you, and just to think that you are not able to do anything. Here is studying in Turkey is a bit difficult for people who are like, let's say, not introverts, they're extroverts. Here, most of the time, as your international student and it's going to be government university, you will have to be able to find a friend for you. And most of the Turkish people, they are not, let's say, good at English, but they try. And here now it's a bit difficult to see that you are from another country, because there are so many people, migrants coming this country, and some people may not like. So, and maybe you will not be able to have any friend at the university, but it's still good. Like, don't worry about that. And be always prepared for your academic year. Here, they don't pressure you like we used to be pressured at school. Study there, do your homework. Why you're not studying? No, there is nothing like that. And of course, it's obvious for any international university, but like a person who got used to this education system is a bit difficult. I truly understand that. What else? Also, if you're going to come for Turkish preparatory year, then you just no need to worry that much, because you will have like pretty much time. But the ones who come to study their major directly, then they will have to be a little bit in struggle. For the first year, I had only 2 friends, I believe, at the university, and I had no any others. Imagine a person who came from Uzbekistan with so many like friends. Whenever I went, I had friends, like once, and I know, like, coming, and no one knows me, and like it was difficult, honestly. And I was so much mentally like down, but then I understand. Just have something that you can, let's say, like, don't pressure into one thing. Okay, don't concentrate. Yeah, and also traveling really helps you a lot. So try to explore many places as much as you can. Well, yeah, that's pretty much about it for academic year. And also, one of the benefits of the scholarship program is for summer you can take or either summer class, or either you can get internships. So also, except internships, they provide courses. For instance, yesterday I was accepted for 2 courses: Islamic banking and Islamic finance with Islamic background. So these are the courses provided by scholarship program admissions, and you can attend any classes. So it's music, also music, songs, like literature, language, everything. So it's not only about finance or some any other courses. So that you will have extracurriculars and internship programs. So here they have Uluslararası Öğrenci Akademi. It means that International Office of Students. So they basically provide students internships. So you'll just have to prepare your CV or resume, and you just upload it on the system. And the companies that they have internships, like they have partnerships together, let's say they select you. For instance, I didn't like select that I want to get hired for Coca-Cola, right? I didn't do that. I just uploaded my resume, and people sent my resume to all the companies that they are in partnerships. And Coca-Cola has chosen me, that I should be a part of them. Maybe something that they liked in me, like maybe my skills, so that I can develop. So this is something really nice that we will be provided. Honestly, I like this, especially at Coca-Cola. Honestly, this is a different atmosphere. And also, I was the only Uzbek girl even though we have Coca-Cola in Uzbekistan, there was no one working, and I was so much surprised, like, how come we have? And then they said only this year they started partnership with Uzbekistan, and always try to leave a good, let's say, mm, imaginary position of Uzbek people whenever you are the first, and so that they will try to hire. For instance, I worked. Like I am a person who works remotely for companies. Let's say for now a company, but in the past I had experience, and I was the only Uzbek working there. And after I thought maybe I don't have time, or maybe I want to get employed for another company, right? And they still accept only Uzbek students. Even at the company now I've been working, we only hire Uzbek people. Why? Because they believe that Uzbek students are the most hardworking. And this is something that I really want to hear everywhere. And they tell me, do you have like, can you, let's say, promote any Uzbek students for us, or like any Uzbek people, and they just trust us. That's very lovely to hear. So even at the university, whenever you come, maybe you are the first person studying as Uzbek, and that's something that you should definitely consider and have a, let's say, goal. So yeah, what we have here. Yeah, so we're actually pretty good with question answers. Yeah. Thank you for your time listening.
Sure. Can you see the questions?
Just a moment. Okay, questions. Oh, yes. Can students work while studying in Turkey? Well, in Turkey, you can work, but this is something that I wouldn't encourage, because your scholarship program gives you stipend, and once they find out that this is not enough for you, they may not like it. So you'll have to be very careful, and I don't really encourage you to work, but maybe I think working like online, something would be better for you option. And now here there's so many international students, and I don't think you will be able to find the work like office work that much. It's very complicated, because the population has been increasing not by month but like by days, and it's a bit difficult. So yeah. What are the job opportunities after finishing uni? Job opportunities. So the program itself encourages you to come back to Uzbekistan and start helping your community. Also, one thing I wanted to note regarding Islamic Development Bank: once you graduate the program, you are going to be an alumna of Islamic Development Bank. So meaning that you will be part of Islamic Development Bank, yeah. Career opportunities is, for instance, here is I told internship programs. If you're going to the summer program, for instance, at Coca-Cola, they accepted only third or fourth year for students, but I don't know how I was accepted for Coca-Cola from first year of studies, and then they asked me and invited me to be part of Coca-Cola once I graduate university, meaning that I will be able to apply for Coca-Cola and become an employee, let's say. So yeah, so everything depends on your resume and your skills. If you are a really qualified candidate, like many companies will be like welcoming you, because here most of the time, if you're going to say that you're Uzbek, like they don't really let's say have any that much negative pressure or like opinion regarding yourself than Arab people. Is it expensive to live in Turkey? Well, I would say right now it depends on the city, of course. Istanbul became super expensive. When I firstly came, $1 was 8 liras, and now $1 is 20 liras. So imagine how much inflation in the country. We used to buy, let's say, one tea for 5 liras. Now it's around, maybe it depends on the place, but 15 liras too. So everything is very expensive. I would say I wouldn't say that much food or like expensive, but I would say rents became very expensive. But if you have a place to live other than this, like you're good to go. Like it's not that much. For instance, clothes for girls or something, this is of course way much better than in Uzbekistan. So yeah, and also it depends on your budget, you know. Assalamu alaikum. Do they accept IELTS? Wa alaikum assalam. They do accept IELTS, but they don't really that much encourage to upload your IELTS scores. But as an additional package, you can. Is there a compulsory year for learning Turkish for master's degree also? Yes, it is. It is for any degrees. And but you see, for instance, if you are going to study in English, you still need to study Turkish, unfortunately. So I suggest you, if you're going to apply for Turkiye Burslari, try to learn a language in your country and then come here, just take an exam, and then you will be free from any sort of preparatory course. Hi, thank you for information. Does Turkiye Burslari accept students who want to transfer from another international university in Tashkent? Thank you. Thank you for joining. Regarding transferring, so I also studied 1 year. They only transferred my courses, not a year, meaning that I, for instance, I graduated, not graduated, but studied 1 year. But here I was not able to study from the second year. Only my courses were like transferred, and you need to discuss with admissions office of your university, because scholarship program does not provide this, unfortunately. Do I need to take YOS? Now they are actually requiring YOS specific exams, math related exams. I believe last year it was in Tashkent. So also in some other cities, maybe in Samarkand I've heard, but now they're having offline exams. So you'll have to take an exam. This is English and math. Hi, I'm a freshman freshman student in Webster University in Tashkent. Is it possible for me to transfer into Turkish University from second course? Thank you. That's nice. I was also a freshman at Webster and then came here. But as I told, you just need to transfer your courses from Webster, but not a year, unfortunately. Yep. Well, yes, I answered most of the questions.
Dear participants, do you have any other questions?
Yeah. Maybe you can turn on your microphones, maybe. Let's see, we received one more. Do we still need to provide international language level proficiency certificate English for master's degree, even if we graduate bachelor's in American University? Yes. Probably they do ask, but I'm not really sure about that. So we'll have to write them an email. But most of the time, like people who graduated even English language programs, they still require English language certificate just to make sure. But if you're going to write your scientific papers and everything, that should be fine as well. Yeah. What else? But the program itself is okay. We received. I need some universities that need SAT. So in this case, are these universities participate in the scholarship program? Well, as I thought, like Boğaziçi, Koç, the universities like this, they do require SAT. So once you apply for a university, you will have an information there. You know, they will just tell you that it requires SAT. So you will know it by yourself that if you're going to need SAT or no. Yeah. But if you're going to have SAT, this is something that will definitely help you, I would say. Yeah, and GMAT also for master's degree students. Master's degree now became very competitive. As much as I have heard, they're not accepting the applications that they used to in the past. So you have to show pretty much yourself. But for master's for 2 years, it's really nice. Why? Because you will be able to do. You know, Turkey has 81 cities. Imagine it's like having in the United States 50 states, and you can even experience summer during the winter. So yeah, it really depends. But my personal opinion would definitely be always choose your major, the one that you like, not something that you think that it's very popular these days. Because if you do not like your major at the government university, you will not be able to transfer from one, let's say, field to another field, and you will not have this opportunity. So make sure that you love this major. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, because here we struggle a lot with this problem, and many students who come from Uzbekistan, they just do that, unfortunately. I received one more. Can you please provide information about the entry exams of Marmara University, or there will be no entry exams after being accepted to scholarship? Well, right now, like in my year, we didn't have any exam. We only went through the selection process. But now, once you apply and you became shortlisted candidate, you will have math and English exam. And if you're going to be selected, then you're like good to go. Yeah. But once you come here, if you don't have English language, or if you had IELTS, then your university will not accept it. So they will ask you to study one more year of English. And then if you don't want to take it and we can prove it, you will have to take university English test. It's usually very easy. I think it's like B1 test. So you will just need to take it, and you will not study 1 year English. Yeah. I wanted to add something here too. Yeah. Other than this, at the university, once you come, maybe only Turkish language exam, if you would like to take, but then no. I meant, do universities give scholarships to those who enter through SAT and IELTS? Well, yes. Yeah, this is how the scholarship program is. Also, if you would like to apply separately from like not government but private university, yes. I mean, they will provide scholarships for people who have SAT. Until when we can apply for Turkish universities? It was 10th of February, or was it 20th? Just a moment, let me check.
The deadline for the Turkiye Burslari is 20th February.
Yeah, 20th February, thank you. Yes, here. So you have time till, you have 18 days, so it's actually a lot. You can do a lot during this. 18 days is pretty enough. Let me check if we have any other. Okay, so yeah. But I would definitely ask you to concentrate on your motivation letter, because you cannot improve your GPA for 18 days. So you cannot improve any other information that you have, maybe your SAT scores, right? Or your maybe English, your score. So definitely work more on your application process. That's going to help you. Yeah, application process is the most important. Then if you still have questions, please let us know. And if not, then we'll have to round up.
Yeah, sure. Dear participants, if you have any other questions, can you go to the last slide, please, Vazira?
Yeah, sure. What was the last slide? Oh, here. Okay.
We are providing assistance for the Türkiye Burslari scholarship, and if you would consider this option, you can directly write us to our social medias. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah. Just we received one more question.
So let me finish. Here is our contact. Please write to us, and we will help you to be one of the Türkiye Burslari scholarship holders in the next year. So
Inshallah.
if it don't.
Yeah, let me see. If we don't have IELTS yet, is it possible to apply for Turkish universities? Yes, you can apply because, as I've told previously, other applicants, they didn't know English at all because they didn't choose a language of study English. So they just take it as a Turkish. So if you're going to study in Turkish, they do not require you to know English. So it's still fine. Yeah. But at the university, you'll have to take courses, English language courses, or maybe preparatory. It depends on the university requirements. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, is it possible to avoid the 1-year Turkish course if I want to study in English? Unfortunately, no, because I also study in English, but I still had to take. But as I told, if you know Turkish, so you don't really need to spend 1 year. You just need to take a test. It's like IELTS or maybe TOEFL or SAT. You just come to university and you say that I know Turkish. I need Tömer, exam, and you'll just take it. So scholarship program provides you, and it's free of charge. They usually tell within 2 or 3 days answers and results. That's all. So you don't need to spend, 1 year studying Turkish language.
That's the awesome opportunity for the students.
Yeah, I will also say that. Could you tell me a little bit about Türkiye Burslari? What are the requirements? Some documents, maybe. I think maybe the participant has joined recently. Yeah.
Can I, for those who learn us after kind of at 5:20 and later, we will send a recording of the webinar and kind of via the email, or you can see it in our YouTube channels.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I'll just tell you briefly. Requirements are just like the other requirements of some other scholarship programs. You will have to apply, motivation letter, interview, your grades, your exams, certificates, extracurriculars. Thanks. Okay. We have to get GPA from Lyceum, right, to apply. Yeah, that's right. Maybe like if you are a second year student, then you just need to get your transcript for 1.5, because I believe first semester is over, right, in Uzbekistan for last year. Yes. So we are just on the way to finish our first semester. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah. Just get your 1.5 year transcript, and then once you are going to be selected, you will have to upload it fully what you have for a scholarship program. So yeah, we received 20 questions.
So we can just finish here. Thank you very much, participants. Thank you very much, Vazira, for your valuable time. And the Globe Study team wish you good luck in your future endeavors, in your future exams, and see you somewhere in the world. Thank you very much, dear participants. Thank you, Vazira, one more time. See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.